So, hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the difference between shaded high quality tea and Bancha. And the shaded high quality in this case is a Gyokuro. And here on the right you have the Bancha. So, what is the main difference of these two teas? The Gyokuro is a shaded green tea. What does shaded mean? So this tea is also coming, or these two tea coming from the same plant, the same cultivar. This is a Yabukita Gyokuro and this is a Yabukita Bancha. What the main difference is that the Bancha is coming from the lower leaves and often from the second or third harvest, and the Gyokuro, if it is a high grade, it is always coming from the first harvest. What you can also see in color is that there's a huge difference between these two teas. And this difference comes from the actual shading process. So this tea here is shaded for 21 to even 22 days by the farmer Mr. Sakamoto. And this tea here is a non-shaded tea, and also the leaves are differing. So here are used the high or the top leaves, often the top 3 or the top 5 leaves. And what you also can see, there are no stems and anything. This is really a pure leaf tea made by the best leaves, and the leaves are even rolled. So I can show you a beautiful example of a rolled leaf. For example, this one here is a rolled leaf, so you can see really it is a leaf which has been rolled to a round needle shape. Here, this one here is the Bancha. So Bancha is really just chopped tea leaves, and often you can find also stems in this tea. For example, this one here, you see a stem with a little part of a blade of a leaf stem as well. So here you really have a mix between different parts of the leaves. Here you really got a pure leaf and really dark. What makes the dark color of the Gyokuro? So the Gyokuro is shaded for 21 days. What does happen in these 21 days? So it is actually a stress moment for the plant, where the plant always tries to absorb the maximum of sunlight. What does it do? It produces strong amounts of chlorophyll. It produces caffeine. As it is stressed, it needs something to protect, and caffeine is a protector for the plant. So it starts to build a lot of caffeine. And what it also is also good for taste-wise, and this is special then about the Gyokuro, is that the taste turns out to be much sweeter. So if this would be a sencha and touched by the sunlight, often the theanine, which is an amino acid, would turn into catechins, and the catechins are more astringent. So this tea develops a really nice sweetness, and it develops a lot of umami thanks to the theanine, and the theanine is a little bit known as this savory and nearly a little bit going into the seaweed, a little bit into the brothy direction. This tea here in comparison are the lower leaves. What is good about the tea Bancha is that it is highly mineralized as well, so you also get some stems in it, and it, due to the fact that it has more minerals in it, this tea has also a more earthy, a more wooden taste, also coming from the stems. So also taste-wise, these two teas, even coming from the same plant, are differing a lot. Also in caffeine content. So as this plant really in this stress phase produces a lot of caffeine, here you are talking about maybe a third of the caffeine intake you have. So here you can go up with the Gyokuro, you can go up to 130 milligrams of caffeine. Here you talk about around 30 milligrams of caffeine. So this is really the main difference, what you can see between these two teas. They are really completely different. Here top leaves at the top of the plant, here rather the lower leaves, or even second or even third harvest, and here we talk purely about the first harvest. Good, and now what we will do is that we will brew both of the teas, and I will just show you how it looks, so we can adapt the brewing time of both teas to the same time. So a Gyokuro needs to be brewed at 2 minutes, 60 degrees. So we poured in now 100 ml here and 100 ml here at 60 degrees Celsius. 60 degrees Celsius is around 145 Fahrenheit. I just use my Q shoes. Already you can see here in the color, so in the color here you much more in the stronger greener color. Meanwhile here with the Bancha you're more a little bit in the brownish or more brownish color.